Hey there, it's Patmos, and nice of you to join me as we were done with the pottage. Let's see, I think we created quite a bit. Yes, so we're going to put that in the food storage and we'll continue developing our village. Now let's see, let's put some stuff in the food storage first so everybody can be happy and have a feast meal. I think that'll be good. We still have one left, but that's the one that we can eat ourselves. We can put some other food in here. That's pretty heavy on us. Let's immediately check if there's anything else that we can lose that we are now carrying around that I don't want to. The deer skull, for instance. So let's take a little walk towards this storage and get rid of the stuff that we don't need at this point. Like the deer skull, that saves us 2 kilograms. I think we can use that log. But we'll see. I guess most of the other stuff that we carry around now we actually do need at a certain point. And what I would like to do now, last time we had finished the house, and now that it is spring, or it's autumn, we can take a look at our housing. As we can see right here, we have one empty house, one empty small house. I'm thinking about going to upgrade this towards a stone house because it's now a wooden house. So let's do so. We'll go to the house and we'll go find it and then see what we can do with it. But for now we have 2 skill points to use. So let's see. A handyman, the builder, 25% slower durability loss of hammers. That's what I want. We can do 1 extra. Let's see, 10% faster crafting in the workshop, the stewing hut or the kitchen. Ooh, I like 10% faster in the kitchen. We do some cooking of our own. Now let's see, it was supposed to be a small house that should be empty. Our 3 small houses are right here. This one is already made of stone. We could change the roof, but I think this one is occupied. Just walk up to the sign, hit the E button, and you can see, yeah, we live in here. So this is our house. So I don't really care about our house. We can just fix this. That's no problem. Question is, do we have planks to actually give it a plank roof? Because then we have a good house. Let's go check. Do we have some planks? 11. Ooh, that's not enough. Alright, so I'm going to find the empty house. So that's one. This is another one. Let's see. Manage. Yes, this is the empty one. So we're going to change out this house. What we need to do is hit that right mouse button. And then we can either repair, we can build, or we can destroy. And we're going to destroy this house. So you can see that the wood framing will still stand. But we'll get rid of everything else. So that we can improve it. There goes the thatch roof. The inside is now gone. Yes. Alright, so this is basically a normal house. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put it on build. And we're going to switch all of these out, of course, for the best ways to do that, which is, in this case, in stone. We did get quite a few logs from it that we can immediately put in. That might be a good thing, actually. Let's just immediately put those logs in. Here we have another window. We'll go right here. We'll make this stone version. Yeah, this is also the stone version. Oh, we need to put in another log. Yes, let's create a complete stone version of this house. So if we invite somebody else in here, they might actually be happy just to live here. Alright, so we'll need a few more logs to finish this, and then we can do a lot of stone working. We also need to start working on the roof, of course. It's only 4 pieces, that's why it's good to start with a small house. This should go relatively easy, although it is already nighttime, so might be a good idea to do some sleep for the next day soon. But here we go. Let's take a few logs. I'd say let's take 5. And let's take a few stones. We can carry 15 kilograms of stone. So we'll do 18. We'll just be a little bit heavy, but, well, as you can see right here, it's close by, so that's not a real issue. And let's start working on this house. First part is done. That's good. Ooh, that's our hammer. Let's create a new hammer. Really want to get working at a certain point to get better tools. But there's just so much I would like to do in this game, and there's so little time. Alright, so now we're out of stones, but I think we have a few logs with us yet. Where do we still need a log? Oh, on the roof then. One on this side, one on that side. Perfect. We need 2 more logs and I think 3 or 2 for the inside, so we'll need a few more. We'll take 5 again. 5. That should be sufficient. And then let's take all of the other stones and let's take the planks. They're just slightly heavy, but that's okay. We can use them straight away and that should fix everything. Perfect. This part is done. Let's put in the planks and the logs. I think we'll go to sleep then, because then we'll have to get the extra stuff that we don't have yet. Right, let's get in. Yeah, 2 pieces for this and 1 more piece for this piece of roofing. Then we should only need stones. Alright. All we need now is a lot of stone and planks. Now we don't have stone anymore, I believe. But we do have some logs. And now... let's take 15, I think. Ooh, we're quite heavy, but we should get a little lighter as soon as we start working on some planks. And we're going to need a lot of planks. So let's build planks. Because hopefully we can finish the roof then. Or at least almost finish the roof. And once that's done, all we'll have to do is just run around, do something else, while our villagers gather some stones. Or we gather some stones ourselves, that's something we can do as well. Luckily for us, we already did all the farming. So what I would like to do, maybe, is go to, I believe it was Sambor. We'll still have to go there for a mission. I think we might do that, because it's now autumn anyway. There's not a lot to do. Our village basically runs itself at this point. So we could just go there. But I think if we finish this house, we can invite extra people. I do believe we still need a smithy. We can still use an extra hunter, I believe. But we'll check that in the management screen soon. I think it will just be good to get these extra people in. Especially for the winter. We won't be doing a lot of running around in winter because we'll get cold. So we'll use the winter time to improve the village even further. Maybe build a few defenses and stuff. So it might be good to well, start focusing on that a little bit. And prepare for winter by making sure that we have enough people to sustain the village during the winter. Well, this looks good. We can actually go quite far with these planks. It's not completely done, but we're getting there with the roof. And I think if we take the trip to Sambor and do whatever mission he gives us, by the time that we get back, we might actually be pretty much ready to finish this house again. That's quite busy. Don't know if I can sleep in that bed. Oh, we can sleep here. Alright, let's sleep towards the next day. Yes, there we are. Let's wake up. Let's take a drink. And then let's think about what we should do. Alright, every now and then check your management screen, see if everything is running smoothly. So far, it appears that most things are running smoothly. Let's check the jobs that we still have open. We can have someone in the smithy, which could be interesting because he can work on a lot of tools. That's really nice. Production, animal husbandry, extracting. We can put 2 people in the excavation sheds. So that's good. So we have basically at least room for 3 people to work, and we could even put people in the farms or in the animal husbandry. So there is quite some work to do. We're also quite hungry, so let's take some food. This will give us 30 food and 10 water. Alright, that's good. Now let's go to our journal, because we still have to go to Sambor. And I think that's what we're going to do right now. We'll leave the village. It's self-sufficient now anyway. Let's go talk to Sambor, and as we get back, we'll finish this house. And even if we find good people that can live there, we can still invite them before they turn really angry. We can finish the house anyway, because it's already quite far done. And that way, we'll ensure that we have those new people and give them a place to live in. So that's good. And while we run back later on to our village, we can take stones from all around, so that's good. Did we open these already? Yes, we did. I thought so. Alright, let's continue. Now, I would like to get my bow ready, but I think we're just going to follow the roads for a bit, because just running through the woods isn't always that smart. We can see the route, though. If we take this route, we can get to Sambor fairly quickly. But if we take the route towards town, so we'll go right here and then into town, we can check if there's good people there. And that's also something. Although we might want to go to Sambor first and then check town, because if we check town, we invite people over and then head back towards our village. Well, if we invite the people over and still have to go to Sambor before we can go back, that might be an issue. So, because then they'll be back and they'll be very unhappy before we get back. And we don't even know what mission Sambor will give us. So, I'm thinking we should go not to the town straight away. We should go to Sambor first. And on the way back, yes, we're going the right way. We should visit the town. Or maybe this mission will just send us to another town. We'll go there. And we'll see what we can do there. Ooh, found a hawk. That's nice. Let's hope we don't run into any predators. Although it can be good to just look around, see if there's any carts or something laying around. But I don't see anything laying around, so we'll just be rushing towards town. There might be some wolves, etc. around in this area. Not 100% sure, but I believe that we're running towards an area with some animals that we don't want to encounter. So we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open to see if we get, if we don't get into trouble. There's a fox. I'm not really scared of a fox. I know there's wolves here. We're getting really close, though. So that's really interesting. I think there we can already see his little house. Yeah, we spotted a wolf. Let's just keep running. And hopefully the wolf won't follow us. That's usually the big trick. Make sure that you're not followed by a wolf. A boar, alright. Well, as long as the boar doesn't attack us, it's okay. Where's the boar? I don't see it. Nope. Oops, some leather. That's nice. We got a stone knife. And some fur. Oh, we got some nice stuff here. Perfect. Now let's continue, because I can see his house. Sometimes there's wolves on the road here, though, so you need to make sure that your stamina is good. As long as you get into Sambor's house, you're usually safe. Shouldn't have too much of a problem. There he is. Let's talk to Sambor. I think you're lost, boy. Sorry, I didn't mean to dist. Wait a second. Look me in the eye and stop shivering and crying out loud. Ha, black and blue. You're Lorden's family, aren't you? Yes, my name's Rasimir. You must be Sambor, then. How do you know that? I was talking with Unigos. He told me that you were part of the Reminders as well. Part of what? Now? The pack? The one with Unigos and Lorden? I've never heard this idiotic name in my life. Oh, sorry. Maybe I've made a mistake. We were called the Undying Fist. Now that's a whole better name. You're damn right it is, because I came up with it. Everybody loved it. No idea what Unigos liked. Do you like that? I'm sure he was just jealous about your creativity. Yeah, sure. Ah, of course he was, and not only about that. Anyway, I would love to hear some stories about my uncle and the pack's adventures altogether. Ooh, look at the bird flying. That's cool. That's an amazing coincidence, because I love to spend my time telling the old tales by the crackling fire. Oh my, really? No, leave my property and forget where it is. Oh, come on. It will only take a moment. A moment of a moment, really. Just tell me, what was my uncle like? How did you become part of the Undying Fist? And what did you do exactly as the pack? You don't know what we did? Unigos didn't get that part yet. Alright. But be quiet and try to be less annoying. Where should I begin? Right. It all started when Lorden left his home. He was 18 at the time, if I remembered correctly. The clever bastard was always too big of a fish for his birthplace, and he knew that. Left as soon as he could, but cleverness at such a young age always means two things: being arrogant and hot-headed. His plan was to set out on a big adventure, that's it. Pretty detailed, huh? A path like that is paved with skeletons of young idiots, but none of them was Lorden. Either way, he was wandering for days. They soon turned into weeks and his rations into dust. He was useless as a hunter, back then at least, so berries and mushrooms was all that he could get, so obviously he needed some coins. He came across a manor with orchards. As vast they seemed like an ocean. Loren managed to find some work there. A week of back-breaking labor has passed. His hands were covered in blisters, skin red from the scorching sun, knees pulsating from pain. I must say, you're really an amazing storyteller. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, that's true. Shut up. Do you want me to finish? Where was I? Oh, right. He was exhausted from all the strenuous work he's done. Went to the lord of the manor with a smile on his face to collect the payment. His stomach was already full with fantasies of all the delicious treats he was dreaming of buying. And all of that was ruined by the hand of the lord holding a couple of lousy coins. Loden was furious. He was merely a fraction of the pay he was supposed to acquire. He started shouting at the lord, demanding justice. Peasants were just flies to the lord, disgusting, replaceable insect. What do you do with a fly which buzzes too loudly? Both of the lord's palms struck Loden's ears with the strength of the ox. Loden fell to the ground stunned, and the lord's guards threw him out of the manor like garbage, stealing what few pathetic coins while doing so, if I may add. It wasn't until evening when Loden regained his hearing, and with it came a fervent thought of revenge. Your uncle was quite a capable fighter when I met him 10 years later, but he wasn't back then. He knew the guards would massacre him if he alone came close, so he needed to find another way to fulfill his vengeance. Loden was always ambitious, but its hatred fueled him like nothing before. And what happened next? What came later was me becoming bored of this conversation. Go away. No way, you can't leave me like this. I can do whatever I want. Scaram. I have things to do. What things? I'll do them for you. I'll do anything. Alright. You really do have Loden's blood in you, right? Screw my things. They're your things to do now. What do you mean? I mean, I'll finish the damn story if you do what I tell you to do. Alright. You won't regret it. Grab the shovel. It's a piece of crap, but it will do. There are clay deposits behind my house. Go there and dig up some clay for me. On it, boss. Alright, we're going to dig up some clay. Let's see. Do we have a... no. We need to grab his shovel. There it is. And nope, I hit the wrong button. We had to put it in the right place. There we go. Alright, there are clay deposits behind his house. So let's go behind his house. Ah, there we see clay. That's nice. Alright, let's go. Ooh, there's a wooden deer figurine. We'll pick those. And now we'll have to get some clay for the guy. So you just do some digging and then you get pieces of clay. And it appears we have some issues in the village. Alright, we have 6 clay already, but we have to dig up more clay because we have to dig up 2 deposits. So we'll do another one then. Quite a long story, but it's an interesting story. Alright, the story is updated. We'll have to talk to Sambor again. But first, you can see there's all these wooden deer figurines around. You can pick them up and sell them at a certain point. Don't bring in a lot of money, but at least they'll bring in something. But right here, there should be a place where there's wine laying around. So you just go ahead and find all these wooden deer figurines, take them with you, and there we are. At least here's a good place with a lot of deer figurines, so we'll take them. And here's some wine. That's nice. And we can sell that wine for a very good price at the market somewhere. And that will make us some extra money that we can use. Alright, so we have quite a few wooden deer figurines now. Up for sales or whatever. Let's get back to... ooh, we unlocked the sewing hut. That's nice. Now let's talk to Sambor. Here's all the clay you wanted. Will you finish the story now? Alright, alright. So, I've already said Loden wasn't much of a fighter back then. He didn't have any money or connections, but he had one thing, one unusual ability. You see, from an early age, Loden was an exceptionally good liar. No sweaty palms, no voice cracks, no tells, really calm, steady breath, eye contact held all the way. He eventually managed to handle any kind of pressure, even in the craziest of situations. But it wasn't that at first. He felt no pressure lying. No stress at all. It was as natural for him as breathing. He had absolutely no remorse. Well, that's very interesting and all, but what happened with the Lord? I swear, you little Brent, interrupt me one more time and you'll meet my wrath. Relax, big eye, I'm all ears. He came up with a plan so immensely moronic and unrealistic that it's really hard to believe that it worked so perfectly. At first he convinced the nearby town tailor to sue him a whole set of clothing worth of the most wealthy nobleman. The finest of fabrics, silken threads, you name it, horrendously expensive. So how did he manage to afford it, you may ask? It's simple, he didn't pay for it. Whoops. So he stole it. I said no such thing. Lorden wasn't a thief, not in the traditional meaning of the word at least. Apart from that, did I finish the story? While wearing his new clothes, he traveled to the castle of the king of the realm and entered it. Haha, you were absolutely right, it is. It's mad to even consider trying to pull that off, but Lorden, he just walked straight in. I don't blame you for doubting me. I would have been the first to doubt a thing like that if I didn't see him doing it 100 of times later with my own eyes. Anyways, he walked right into the castle, and once he was there, he followed through with his plan, which was betting his wife. Whose wife? The king's. The king's wife? So the queen, indeed. So let me get this straight. The plan was to get into the castle and lay with the queen. Exactly that. You were right, this is the most absurdly idiotic plan I've ever heard of. I told you, but it worked like a charm. I still don't get it. What worked? What was he accomplished by that? After the lovemaking, he dressed up, deliberately leaving his undergarments on the bedside, and told the queen he'll be right back with some refreshments. Then he went to one of the king's guards and told him that he saw the queen with the company of a strange man sneaking into one of the chambers. The guard rushed in and witnessed the queen naked in bed with a man's clothes right next to her. As a loyal servant, the guard reported on the matter directly to the king himself, who, as you can probably imagine, became furious to say the least. He couldn't really punish his wife, that would be bad for his reputation, but he could pursue her lover. Unfortunately for him, at this point, Lorden was long gone from the castle, riding a beautiful bay mare he borrowed from the stable into the sunset. Still don't get it. You see, the king didn't catch the filthy seducer, but it didn't mean he couldn't track him down and find him. To do so, the only track he could follow was the one that Lorden left behind. Except his undergarments and the pleasurable memory for the queen, his name. Not his real name, of course, the name he used when introducing himself to the queen. The Lord of the Orchards. Precisely, now you get it. Ha, that's incredible. The Lord's head must have left the company of his body pretty promptly. He didn't get killed. That wouldn't be in Lorden's style. The queen begged for his life to be spared, so the king threw him in a dungeon where he spent all days that he has left. Whoa, Lorden was amazing. All that just with the power of his wits and speech. He surely showed the Lord that he shouldn't have wronged him. Don't get the wrong idea about his reasons. Lorden didn't get through all of that just because of what the Lord did to him. You see, the Lord was a cruel, merciless brute. He mistreated all of his subjects, killed for fun, raped for sports. People used to call him laundryman, because one of the habits was drowning his bastards in the lake right after birth, like unwanted kittens. That's bad. Lorden needed to stop him, and he did, but that's not the end of the story. After the Lord's capture, someone had to take his place. He didn't have any rightful successors, but then, with just an uncannily perfect timing, came a distant cousin of the Lord's, a charming young man with 2 different eyes. You have to be kidding me. He easily acquired all possessions of this sensed relative, but Lorden didn't want any of that, not for himself, so he took only 3 bags of coins from the treasury and left everything else in the hands of the peasants. They were elated. He is still probably worshipped there, I can tell you that. Oh, and one more thing. Why 3 bags, you might ask? That's easy. One for the tailor, another one for the stableman he took the horse from, and a last one for himself, with the exact amount of coins he was respectfully supposed to earn for his work at the orchard. Told you Lorden wasn't a thief, and that was it. He mounted his beautiful mare and left the realm, continuing his adventures. At least that's the story he used to tell us, so nothing of that might be true all, haha. That's just how it was with Lorden. Well, now I understand what you and Unighost were talking about. He really does seem surreal. I never met anyone else like that, don't get me wrong. He had his flaws, but the things he could do, his tongue wasn't even silver, it was made out of pure gold. But wait, you didn't tell me, what's the purpose of the Undying Fist? Oh, I thought it would be obvious now. On the day Lorden's mission was born, he knew that he spoiled rotten elites like that were scattered all around the world, draining life and dignity from the hard-working simple folk. Was he capable of stopping them? to some extent at least. So that's exactly what he started doing, overthrowing corrupted lords and giving back to the community. Oh, he sounds like a hero. Well, it wasn't like, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that. So how did you join the pack? Lorden was working solo until he met Unighost. That rat's agile fingers could work where Lorden's tongue didn't, and then they needed someone with other talents they were lacking, like strength, manliness, bravery, independence, gallantry, integrity. Right, I think I get the picture. So they recruited the best there was. I was between jobs at the time, so I gave them a chance, and finally the pack started to really make a difference. But I don't like to brag. Oh yes, I noticed, humble to the bone. Well, thank you for noticing. People at my level don't need to boost about our skills, just like the sun doesn't need to prove it's bright. Anyhow, I already spoke more words to you than I did in the last 5 years to anybody, so it's time for me to go. Time for you to go, and preferably don't come back ever. Well, it was a great pleasure and a true honor. Yeah, I don't care. Leave now. Return. And in return for giving away my location, deliver this delicious meal to Unighost. It's his favorite, a knuckle sandwich. Do you want to hit him in the face? Did I stutter? No, sir. Of course, I'm on my way, sir. Alright, well, that was a very long story, but it was nice. It was worth it. And I think we should return to Unighost now, so we're going to take the road down here, get through the village, see if there's anybody that we can... we have to take this road. We're going to find if there's somebody in the village that will join us. Then we'll go to Unighost, and then we'll return to our village to make sure that we Ooh, I hear a wolf, I believe. So let's keep running. Alright, we'll have to stop now. Let's go backwards. Let's see. I heard a wolf. Luckily, we outran him. That's good. So, let's go back. It was a long story. Horrible story, but it was still a story. Interesting. Alright, let's see. There should be an opening somewhere here, and there might be a cart down here. Although not today, apparently. So yeah, there's nothing to be caught here. Let's just continue then. Sometimes there's a cart down there in the opening, like it rushed through, which can be interesting, but it's not there right now. Well, let's continue towards town. We have quite a few issues in town, actually, at this point. We have... oh... excavation shed, the hunting lodge, they're all out of stuff. Well, then we need to get back before people get hungry. Although we did manage to brew quite a few potages, so that shouldn't be too hard. But we'll see. Let's just run straight through the forests, a little bit closer to town. Yep, there should the town be. Alright, this way. Let's head straight to town, where we can ask if somebody can join, and they can assign them to the smithy, so that they can do some good work in the smithy. I think that might be wise. We could really use someone in the smithy. Then we'll just finish the house once we get back, although since the hunter and the excavation shed apparently don't have tools, they are having a hard time collecting all the stuff that we need. But we'll be fine, I think. Some challenges will have to be expected and have to be overcome. Let's see. You are not that good. You are also only average. So yes, we're not going to let you into town. Luckily, we still have to get to Unighost first. So let's go there. See if he has something that we might actually use. And hopefully in the village of Gustovia there are a few good people that want to join our village. It's not looking too good though. So yeah, I'm hoping that there's good people in there, but I don't think so. And then we'll just rush back to create a few tools. That's basically the most important thing. To create some tools for our villagers to do the work that they need to do. First, let's find Unighost. 80 meters to go. Then at least we'll have done a little bit of the Sombor story. Alright, how good are you? Oh, my stamina is too low, so I can't talk to the guy yet. Ah, there's Unighost. Don't walk away, don't walk away, come to me. Yes, hi there. Hi, I've talked with Sambor. It's always nice to see you. Yeah, that's good. He's a real sweetheart, isn't he? Yeah, the sweetest, like a jar of honey. That's Sambor for you. I see. He did tell me about my uncle, though. The story about the Lord of the Orchards. He has some unexpectedly good storytelling skills, doesn't he? Yeah, he really does. He was downright astonished by that. One time, I swear he went for over a year without speaking a single word, but when we were sitting by the fire, he remembered some anecdote, laughed out loud and began his tale, went from a total mute to the master of ceremonies. The narrative was so gripping, it was hard to listen. He even did voices, but after finishing, he became silent again. He never fully understood that side of him. A theater genius trapped in the body of a bear wrestler. He actually asked me to give you something. Really? And what is that? A knuckle sandwich. Yeah, that sounds like Sambor. So, are you giving to deliver? Do you want me to? Sure. I love people punching me in the face around the valley. I'm known for it. Would you be so kind and do it for free, though? I'm all out of my being punched in the face budget. Ah, you're joking. I started worrying there for a second. Don't. Sambor just likes to say crap like that. But if he asks, I'll tell him you knocked me out cold. Just out of curiosity, did somebody tell you something about becoming part of the pack? He said that you were looking for the best to recruit and that he was an obvious choice. Yeah, that seems like something he would say. Isn't it the truth? It's not a pleasant memory, but I believe you deserve to know the whole story. We didn't recruit him. Well, I guess we did. Lorden did. But it wasn't a matter of choice. When Lorden and I started to follow his missions together, we were rather successful. Everything was going smoothly, too easy even. We were doing a lot of good, putting many well-deserved smiles on oppressed faces. That's when we met where we let our guard down. There was a secret guild formed by a few of the higher-ranking knights and barons. We called them the Vendors, bunch of really heartless bastards. Their most lucrative business was selling a living merchandise, and no, I'm not talking about animals, please don't say. Slavery was strictly forbidden in that realm. The queen was adamant about it. Well, the Vendors had their own set of rules to follow. They caged them like cattle, mostly women and children, forced to fight rats for the poor little rations they were being given in the damned dungeons they were held in. The guild preferred quantity over quality, so didn't care about diseases, and they didn't tend to wounds. I think I'm going to be sick. Sometimes it took them weeks to get the dead out of the cages, survival of the fittest, or rather outlasting the least fortunate. It was simple and horrible. If you ask me, all the damn guild served a cruel and slow death. But that wasn't how we operated. Lorden made it very clear from day one. We were never to take a life. That was the most important of rules. Anyway, we managed to get everyone out. The carriage full of broken people, even the horses kept their heads low, mourning. The despair in the air was even more poisonous than the stench of the rotten flesh, and in all of that we forgot to make ourselves safe and well. We were caught by the mercenaries who brought us to the torture chamber. Yes, the gruesome place had an even worse room hidden inside. The Vendors weren't in their patient mood, so they went their worst torture right away. I was horror-struck, truly petrified, could barely breathe. Lorden didn't say a word, he just looked at me. His eyes were relaxed but focused. He realized he wanted me to be calm as well, but I just couldn't. He went first. The torturer strapped Lorden to a chair and just started swinging. His fists were like anvils. Every hit drew blood or broke bones. In a matter of seconds, Lorden's face looked like a bloody pulp. The only thing poking through it was his smile. It was one of the many times I wondered if he was even human. The torturer quickly realized that he needed different tools for such a unique specimen and wanted to grab his blades. That's when Lorden started talking. He was making him offers, one after another, but the torturer just kept carving his torso, like he was preparing a steak to be grilled. There was so much blood I could taste it in my mouth. I wanted to pass out, just to run away from all of that, but I couldn't. My heart was pounding way too fast. What a story. Suddenly the torturer stopped. He looked at me and back at Lorden. That was the only thing he said. If you're lying, you're going to watch me do the same to him. I was about to puke, but Lorden just nodded. So he untied us both and helped us escape. There were more mercenaries on our way, heavily armed. No one stopped us. Even they were terrified of the guy. Managed to get out in one piece. Well, we managed to get out alive. Lorden's wounds wouldn't heal for weeks, and even after that he was scarred so badly, it looked like he had chainmail stitched to his skin. But we had escaped death, and its emissaries became one of us. Right, the torture. It was Sambor, wasn't it? Yes. I have no words. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Don't be. The path we walked on, it was our choice. We knew the risk. How could you want a person like that among your troop? I don't think I wanted a cutthroat anywhere near me. I couldn't get a wink of sleep with him around for days. I was constantly watching my back, watching his every move. So why didn't you blow him off? That's simple. Lorden made a deal with him. Promised him the only thing that mattered to that brute, which was money. A whole lot more than what the guild was paying him, and a cut from every heist that we did. But couldn't you just pay him off or run away? Well, that's not the way Lorden did things. He was a master liar, but when he gave someone his word for real, he never backed down. Besides, as we later found out, Sambor isn't evil in his nature. He's just a true soldier. Did what he was asked of him. Lorden spent hours talking with him, explaining our rules of conduct. Sambor never broke any of them, not once. That's incredible. Your lives, I mean. I don't think I will be able to handle all of that. Honestly, I hope you will never have to. It's been a lot. And after all these years, the thing I wish the most is to have a boring, steady life. Compared to your boring stories, life sounds sure pleasant. Then I have a special request for you that will help achieve the boredom. Sure thing, what do you need? I need you to go to Borowa, find Ida and get my skith back from her. Alright, consider it done. That's the thing that we can do. We're not going to do that right now, because right now we're going home. How good are you? 2. Yeah, you're not good enough. I want people with skill level 3. Well, we did improve. We did a few missions. But it's now time to really head home. Have a drink. And then make some stuff for the village. Although apparently all problems are gone. So at least we have enough food. Everybody just stopped working because it's nighttime. And that's why we don't have any issues in the village anymore, I think. See, we still need all of this, but the message is gone in the top corner because nobody's working at the time. So that's good. That means that we at least don't have any food issues. That's something I'm happy with. Because I don't like those food issues. Now all we need to do is run towards our home. And we can run straight through the woods and take a little shortcut. It might actually work out. There we go. I mean, following the road is nice, but taking a shortcut could be even better. There we can see our little village. And yeah, we're getting close. Well, it's going to be a pretty long episode, and we didn't even do a lot because of the whole storytelling. But I think it's important, especially for those who really want to see how elaborate the story is and how much it brings in. But what we have to do now is check and see what all the different buildings need. So if we go to the excavation shed, we can see there's no tools. They still have a little bit of a shovel. They don't have a pickaxe, so we need to create a few shovels and a few pickaxes. Now I know for the pickaxes we're going to need some stone and a few logs. So let's start with this. And let's see, I don't think we can make... Yeah, we can make 3, so that's something. At least 3 pickaxes, so they can start to collect more stone. You're carrying too much, yes I know. It's okay. Then we're going to need to make a few shovels. What do we need for shovels? We need just logs. Alright, so let's grab a few more logs. Let's go to the chest. We will put in the stone pickaxes that we created. We did get a Sambor shovel, so we can put that in. And now let's grab a few logs. We'll just do a lot of... yeah, we can't walk right now, but that's okay. We can just create a lot of shovels. And that should really help us out to make sure that we get everybody working again. Well, this might also be a good moment to just finish this episode while we are creating all of this weaponry. So, thank you very much for watching. Well, I just continue, of course. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, tips, tricks, anything you want to tell me, please feel free to let me know. And then, of course, I hope to see you in another video. So I'll just get working on a few knives, if we can. I don't think so, because we need stones for that. Yes, we need a lot of stones. So next up, collecting stones for knives. But that's for next episode. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.